Hail Thor! Hail Thor! Hail Thor! Good morning, Tubies. It's Psychic Bob. Well, I'm up early today because really I cannot sleep. Why can I not sleep? Well, let me just put it this way. The leftist agenda is at it again. And this time they're coming for all of us. You're going to say, Psychic Bob, what are you talking about? Stop being political. Well, normally, as you know, on this channel, I don't get political. But I'll tell you, we're at a time now, whereas if I don't say something, then I'm guilty of compliance with the destruction of many people's lives and faith. Let me tell you what's going on. Now, you're going to think I'm crazy, but I'll provide links to prove all of this. About a year ago, let me give you some background to all this. By the way, I'm wearing a Thor's hammer today, and you'll understand this very soon. About a year ago, I was talking to somebody in Sweden, and we were talking about the general state of paganism. They're like, you know, the pagan movement in Sweden is really growing. A lot of people here are practicing Asatru and Wicca and love the old gods. And they were telling me that in Iceland, they're building the first pagan temple now that's been there in over 1,000 years. So, as we of the Wicca say, the old ones are returning. And one of the gods that I love that's in my pantheon is the god Thor. So when I say Hail Thor, I really mean it. Well, as many of you know, the harassment against me here on YouTube has escalated. And I have opened a BitChute account. By the way, I'm going to put the link to my BitChute account below. Please help me out. Please go over there and subscribe. Set up a channel. It's free. I may eventually have to totally move there with the way things are going. And just listen to this video and you'll understand. So anyways, as I was talking to this person in Sweden, we were talking about how the Norse faith is growing. And I said, well, I'm Wiccan, but I have a lot of Norse practice in my practice. I wear Thor's hammer a lot of times. I have an altar to Lord Thor. And, you know, it's part of my journey. I also love to read runes. Here's my rune stones. And they said, well, we're going to enjoy it until the government bans it. I said, what do you mean ban it? They're not going to ban the Norse religion. That's in, you know, part of your culture. You know, the whole Viking culture originated in the Nordic countries of Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland. All of these countries influenced the whole Northern European faith. And Thor was part of that. Well, let me tell you what's going on. Don't take religious freedom for granted, because back on last week of May, starting around May 23rd, 24th, actually it was a little earlier than that, a little earlier in May, Social Democratic Minister of Justice for Sweden, Morgan Johansson is his name, started a legislation in the Norwegian government, or excuse me, the Swedish government, to make Thor's hammer and runic symbols now illegal in Sweden. That's right, here are the words, illegal. From what I've found, Morgan Johansson says that he was prompted by various constituents in the country. A certain few religious groups, I cannot say them because of censorship, but one of the religious groups starts with the letter M. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not naming religions. You can figure that out maybe. But the letter M is in the name of their religion. Have now said that they are offended by seeing people wear the Thor's hammer, that they believe that the runic symbols in the hammer are hate speech, that they feel that this pagan symbol is not something they want to see on the streets of walking down the streets in the country of Sweden. And so the leftist agenda, and I'm going to be political here, it is a leftist agenda because Morgan Johansson is a member of the Social Democratic Party, which is, i.e., the Socialist Party, the leftist party, has thought it would be good that we make Sweden more equal for all religions. So we're going to ban these symbols. You think I'm joking? I'm going to put links below. I want you to really explore this. In fact, starting on May 24th, a series of protests by Swedish citizens started in Sweden. They had a big meetup outside of their legislature, which would be like our Congress, to start the protests. However, it appears that the legislation is still going through and is still on the books. What they're proposing to do is to make wearing of the Thor's hammer a crime. That's right, a crime. That if you are seen in public wearing this symbol, you can now be arrested in Sweden. But they're not stopping at Thor's hammer. They've expanded it to any display of Thor's hammer, whether in jewelry or even printed on a shirt or printed on a bumper sticker or hung on a tapestry. These would now constitute a hate crime in Sweden. Think about this. How many of you out there, now some of you may say, well, PsychicBob, I don't know Thor, I don't worship any of that. But let me tell you, that's only the beginning. Because think of how many people wear these symbols. For example, let me show you some of my jewelry. I love jewelry, as you all know. I happen to have a Thor's hammer ring. What if I'm traveling to Sweden for a group meetup at YouTube, my YouTube friends over there, and I forget to take this ring off? And I'm walking through the airport wearing this ring. The police see me. I can now be put in handcuffs and arrested simply for wearing this ring. Not only does it extend to Thor's hammer, these symbols are also now officially in the legislation as potential hate symbols. This is the Valknut. Many of you have seen this. This represents God Odin. It's a symbol of Odin, who's the Allfather in the Norse tradition. And it's surrounded by runes on the outer edge of this piece. See, the circle has runes. The runic symbols are now also being proposed as made illegal, and the Valknut symbol. The Social Democratic Party says that these are signs of hate because a certain religious group, whose letter starts with M, doesn't like it. And we shouldn't make these people feel uncomfortable. So, ignoring thousands of years of their own culture's history, they now want to take away the ancient symbols that are native to the Nordic countries. Not only is the Thor's hammer going to be made illegal and the Valknut, any image associated with them will be illegal. Now let me paint a scenario here for you. Can you imagine PsychicBob traveling in Sweden, which is certainly not impossible. I have a lot of friends over there. And let's say I'm at a psychic fair and I'm doing readings. And let's say I'm driving back in my car, and sitting on the front seat of my car is my bag with my rune stones in it. Let's say PsychicBob goes a little fast and gets pulled over for a speeding ticket. Okay? Just having these rune stones in my presence is now a crime. So forget freedom of religion. Doesn't matter that I use these. These are symbols of hatred. And if just laying on my car seat, I could now be arrested, have my car seized, and taken to court just for carrying runestones. This is not a joke. I didn't believe it till I started to research it, but this is actually legislation on the books. Some of the items that they're talking about making illegal include jewelry, any jewelry that displays any of the Nordic symbols of the ancient Norse religion, clothing, any open displays such as signs, tapestries, stickers on cars, and also this includes Thor's hammer, the rune symbols, all of the runes, any of them, the Valknut, which I showed you here, and also the Vesvigar symbol. The Vesvigar is the Norse compass. which I'll put a picture up here for you. Check out, this is the Vest Vigor symbol, which is a symbol I also love and have displayed in my house. This will also be illegal. So there you go. There are some of the symbols that are now on the table in Sweden. Now, some of you might say, well, Bob, I don't live in Sweden. Doesn't affect me. I don't care. Well, you should care, because your fellow pagans, for those of you who are Wiccan or pagan, are going to be persecuted. They will be arrested and jailed and fined and have their livelihoods destroyed, all in the name of appeasing a certain group whose letter starts with M. I never thought I'd see the day where this would actually come into play, but it's actually on the table now. And as it's Wiccan Wednesday, all Wiccans are affected. Now, again, a lot of you are going to say, oh, well, come on, Bob, that's over in Europe. Doesn't affect me here in America. We have freedom of religion. Well, let me tell you, that freedom of religion is now under attack in the United States, because a certain group in the United States have gotten wind of what's going on in Europe, and they like that idea. And they are now petitioning certain Congress people, who I will not name at this time, to begin that legislation here, that in the United States it would be illegal to wear this. That certain group, whose letter starts with M, are behind this. And so the way the climate, the political climate is in America, you might say, well, our freedom of religion prevents that. Don't be so sure of that. They could get around that by passing a local ordinance. Maybe on the national level, it would not be promoted in Congress. But what if local ordinances started saying, well, you can't wear that in this town? They could do that and get away with it. And all it takes is enough fanaticism and enough voices, and people would start to sign away their rights. Now you say, oh, Bob, that's not going to happen in America. Really? Well, let me tell you. YouTube was recently in meetings, yes, with the European Union. The European Union is the governing body over the European states. The European Union has told YouTube, listen up, guys, YouTube, we feel that for YouTube to be promoted and to have a platform in Europe, YouTube should comply with European regulations regarding speech. So basically, if Sweden does succeed, which it looks like they may well succeed in passing this law, it may extend to the rest of Europe that the Thor's hammer, the runes, images of the ancient gods will now be illegal throughout Europe. YouTube has basically said that they are in agreement with compliance with European Union law, which means that you and I will no longer be able to show these symbols on YouTube. They will be considered an illegal act. And you may find yourself being subject to investigation or arrest. Maybe not in America, but let's say I wear a Thor's hammer. And let's say I travel to Sweden. Well, if YouTube has me documented wearing this symbol, when I touch down in Sweden, I might find myself suddenly visited by the police for an investigation. Or I might just be told, you're banned from travel to Sweden because you broke our laws. So sitting here in America wearing a Thor's hammer, I could lose my right to travel to Sweden or even to all of Europe as the legislation seems to be expanding. Y'all need to wake up. You might think I'm being dramatic. I'm not. This is real law. I'm going to put a link below to another YouTube channel who's documented this far better than I have. Red Ice TV. The correspondent for Red Ice, it's a news channel, lives in Sweden and is a practicing pagan. So he has a very direct vested interest in all of this. And hear it from him. I want you please to see the link below. Watch it. It's kind of a long video, but it's really worth the time to get the full scope of what's going on. So I want you all to know about this. Think about how far this could extend. No longer will I be able to wear my jewelry. This is on my altar to Thor. Will it now be, and I wouldn't doubt it, that it could be illegal to have an altar to the Norse gods? So let's say, for example, I don't know, there's a fire in my kitchen, and I call the local fire department. And as you know, the fire department often bring the police. It's just kind of, and at least in the United States, a lot of times the police come out while fires are going on. And let's say the police and the fire department come into my house, or even just the fire department, and they see an altar with Norse symbols on it and a statue of the god Thor with his hammer. Could that now be reported and I be arrested? Like, think of it this way. If, for example, if the police come to your house and you have drugs, illegal drugs, laying on the coffee table, they can't arrest you, okay? Even though it's in your private home. If the illegal drugs are visible, that constitutes a crime. I don't see it too insane to think that in the not too distant future, we could have a situation where having an altar to Thor, oops, I got a blessing. An altar to Thor could now be a crime. I think of all the Norse pagans in this country who are affected by this. And the Norse pagans across, you know, the northern European states, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, Iceland, and the rest of Europe, England. A lot of UK people follow Thor as well. So I know I have a lot of YouTubers in UK. And I'm curious if any of you in Europe have heard about this. Please tell me in the box below. So I will keep you updated as I discover more about this. But just hear from me. This is really happening. This is not a myth. It's not a rumor. And I'll put some links below and you can research it yourself. Look up Morgan Johansson. His name is spelled, first name Morgan, M-O-R-G-A-N, last name Johansson, spelled J-O-H-A-N-S-S-O-N. Morgan Johansson, Social Democratic Minister of Justice for Sweden. He is enacting this. Now, will this legislation pass? Even if it doesn't pass this time, the very fact that this would come up and actually be seriously looked at is pretty scary. And I tell you, I don't see it impossible in the future for this to actually happen, given the rise of certain groups and the leftist agenda. So, anyways, if I've offended anybody, tough, because I'm offended. I don't care if you're offended that I brought up a political subject, because the politics are now encroaching into our livelihoods and our lives in a way that is very concerning for me. Anyways, enough of that. Let's switch topics here because I got more stuff for you today. Pop over to my website. You can get my latest artwork, Green Frenzy. It's available for free download. People are saying, well, how do I get that? If you go into my website, PsychicBob.com, you'll click, once you go in, you'll see a screen that says enter. Click the enter button, and that'll take you further into the site. That's a front screen, and the site's behind that. You scroll down the front page there, and you will see this image. What you do is you take your mouse, right-click on the image, save it to your desktop as an image, and then you can print it out as an image file. And it will look just like this. It's an exact photo replica. So you'll have it'll look just like the original. Anyways, I hope you'll get in. Thank you. Also, on to happier news. Last night was a beautiful night. I went out under the full moon and had the best time. And we're right at half moon now. And you know, this is a time where the moon is growing, but we're right at the dividing line. And the moon is a waxing half moon. So hopefully tonight, wherever you are, you can go out and see the moon. It was spectacular here. On the 17th of June, oops, I wrote it down here. I think it's the 17th of June will be a full moon. So watch the moon. It's growing now. I'm going to talk more about that in the following clip. I went out and filmed the moon and had a little night walk. And you all always love the night walks. So stay with us here. Here is my experience under the stars and under that beautiful half moon. Hope you enjoy it. Keep watching. Hey Tubies, it's Psychic Bob. Well, I'm out walking on a Tuesday night. It's a deep dark night sky. There's a beautiful tree with the light filtering through. And it's a really great night to be out and walking. As I said, it's Tuesday night, and tomorrow I'll upload this. It'll be Wiccan Wednesday. But I wanted to take advantage of the situation and show you guys the beautiful moon tonight. Check this out, this beautiful half moon that we've got. Is that amazing or what? Actually, it looks kind of full on camera, but it's actually right at the half mark, at the second quarter. It's looking pretty good. So let's walk on along under the mystical half moon. There's our mystical moon shining down, just looking beautiful tonight. Here's a soft light out here. You can see these beautiful shrubs here, just glowing softly under the night sky. I tell you, I love this. I love to get out and walk. It's one of those days where the air is cool, it's no humidity, it's just wonderful. It's not too cold, not too hot, just right. But you know, as we're looking at the half moon tonight, you know, half moon is about balance. And right now at the half moon, it's a good time for you to think about magic that brings balance into your life. Maybe you've been struggling with that. Maybe you're overindulging in food or spending too much money, or you know, whatever your overindulgence is. We all have something, don't we? Maybe we sleep too much. Maybe we don't sleep enough, you know. Half moon's a time to discover balance again. And I think just by getting out and walking tonight, I'm starting to feel balanced. Walking under that lunar light gives you power. It helps you to attune to the energy. So I encourage you tonight, wherever you are, go out if you can. If you see the moon, go out and stand under it. If you're in an area where you can't see the moon, just know that it's above you now. Don't put yourself in danger, but see if you can connect to that half moon energy. I just love it. I think it's very magical and very mystical. You know, walking tonight reminds me of when I was a kid. You know, in the summers when we'd go out and play all night. Do you remember that, running across the lawns in bare feet? You don't see kids doing that anymore, at least not where I live. But I grew up in an era where kids were allowed to run free. You know, we'd leave the house and go out all day long playing with our friends, and we'd get on our bikes and go miles away. And our parents never thought a thing about it. Isn't it funny how times change? I'm telling you, it's really something, isn't it? It's so beautiful tonight. You know, when the air is soft and gentle like this, it really helps you to just breathe, you know? And as I'm standing here, I'm looking up, there's our moon again, still above us, following me along. Nothing like the night moon, is there? You know, I want to say thank you. Thank you to all of you who have been supporting me through my BitChute channel. There's a car that's been stalking me all night, just making problems. Anyways, ignore it. That gang stalker's been following me everywhere tonight. But anyways, I want to say thank you. Thank you to all of you who've been supporting me at BitChute. As many of you know, the environment at YouTube is getting very hostile. So I've opened a BitChute channel, and I'm going to be posting more videos there. Right now I just have 2 videos, but I'm thinking that on Friday, this upcoming Friday, we're going to do our Friday video over at BitChute. I am actually allowed to talk about UFOs there. So I think we're going to do UFO Friday on my BitChute channel. I hope you'll come over and subscribe. It's free to join. I'm going to put the link below this video, but you know, come over, check it out, be part of the scene, you know. By the way, also, you know, I want to say thank you to all of you who've been so encouraging and supportive of my art. Over at my website at PsychicBob.com, that link will be below, you can get my latest artwork, which is called green frenzy. So check it out. You know, the half moon is a wonderful time for you to explore letting go of things that block you. Because the half moon is about, at least at this time, is about growth. So if you have something that's blocking you, maybe you feel like you've had a block to your creativity, maybe you've had a block to your finances, the half moon is a time where you can, you know, reconnect to that part of yourself that you want to grow. And so from now for the next 2 weeks, our moon is going to be growing up to full. And I think that's pretty cool. There it is. It's nice to walk down the street, isn't it? The light. So think about areas of your lives where you want to have some growth now, and make that a focus. And let that be part of your life. All right, we got people in the park having fun. Reminds me when I was young, I'd be out running all night. Nights like this rejuvenate my body, my mind, and my spirit. And it's fun to share it with you. And Tubies, here I am right by this wonderful little tree. This is the one that I showed you that was shorn down to nubs, and now it's grown. And this tree is also being nurtured by the moonlight. Look above it. Here's our mother moon shining down on this tree. So this tree is getting nurtured by moonlight. Yes, moonlight nurtures even the plants. How wonderful and powerful. So, you know, half moon is a time where you can think about, where do you need nourishment in your life? Maybe you have a sense of lack. Maybe you feel as if, you know, you don't have a lot of nourishment. Let the moon mother nourish you. Call upon her. Call upon the great goddess. Because you see, the truth is that the earth is our mother, the moon is our mother, the sea is our mother. And all life comes from the mother. So if you feel a lack in your life of nourishment, let this half moon time recharge you. Well guys, I've certainly enjoyed just spending a few moments with you under the moonlight, and I hope today's video has given you some insights about the half moon. And you know, make sure to pop over to my website, PsychicBob.com. You can read more about my work as a psychic, and while you're there, you might want to book a reading with me. If you want to get on my schedule for a private reading, give me a call at 703-825-3929. That link will be below, or you can write to me at PsychicBobHickman@gmail.com. That link will also be below. And while you're at my website, pick up a book. I'm a published author. I have a number of books there. And you can also, again, get my latest artwork, Green Frenzy. You'll see it on the first page as you scroll down. And you can right-click on that and save it, and then you can print it, and you will have a copy. Now, this picture will only be up till next Monday, where it's going to be replaced with the current artwork that I'm doing this week. So make sure to get your copy today. It's a limited edition, and once it's gone, you won't be able to get it. You guys are best. Listen, thanks for being here. I love you guys. Thanks for being part of my channel. Remind you, below is my BitChute link. Go over there, check out that channel, and I hope you'll subscribe and help support me. You guys are best. I love you. We'll see you back here tomorrow, and until then, may you all always blessed be.